Welcome back to the Pool Deck Podcast. It's Christmas season here in Iowa, which means
it's Christmas season everywhere.
Well, yeah, but it's extra Christmassy because there's snow on the ground.
Okay.
And so we're going to talk about sand today. We're going to be talking about Dune.
Yeah, when we were coming up with this week's idea, we were like, so we talk about nothing that's relatable to like what we're doing and where we're at. And obviously a lot of things we don't know too much about.
Exactly,
like
because it makes it more fun because we don't really know what's going on. Well, I don't. She does.
A little bit. So we're like opposite of Christmas, sand.
Unless you're in Africa. Unless you're in Africa.
I don't think we have any
African
subscribers that are from Africa.
Most of our people are actually Scandinavian. The United States is Scandinavian. It's like 60% American, and then there's like...
Why are people watching us in Northern Europe?
Hey, that was the guy that commented on that one short Scandinavian. Okay, anyway.
Scandinavian viewers, why is this what you found?
Well, they were attracted to disc golf because Scandinavians are actually pretty big disc golfers. They don't care about this bit.
Interesting. Leave a comment, please.
Yeah,
okay.
If you cannot, I was talking to one of my subscribers recently, and this subscriber told me that they were having a problem commenting. So if you cannot comment,
drop a comment,
dislike the video, and so we know if we have an actual problem with commenting. Because if there is, I need to find a way to fix it. So
yeah.
Tell us, leave a dislike if you cannot comment.
Can't you just like write in one of your polls? I don't want people disliking our videos.
I could, but people don't always check the community tab.
No, that's good. Okay. Anyways, today's topic is Dune.
The only thing I know about Dune is that Zendaya was in the most recent movie.
She was in both of them.
There's a giant sandworm.
Yeah.
And it's a ripoff of Star Wars, and there was a book of it.
I don't think it's a ripoff of Star Wars.
I always heard it was just a ripoff of Star Wars.
No. There is a book of it. Okay, so Dune.
Tell us. Dune.
Yeah, Dune. It starts like there's the whole multiple planets thing, like Star Wars.
Okay.
And then there's the family Atreides.
Okay.
And that's Timothée Chalamet. You know Timothée Chalamet, right?
Actor. He was on Game Day. He was on Game Day recently.
Yes, he was, and he won the pick, like the TV pick. Yeah, so you know who he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Timothée Chalamet's family.
Okay.
And his name is like Paul or something, I think.
Good name.
Anyway, and then his mom is that girl from Mission Impossible.
There's
the one that falls in love with Tom Cruise. The redhead. It's British.
Elsa.
Yeah, Elsa.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's his mom.
Faust.
That's his mom.
Okay.
And she's this like prophet.
Tell us if you want us to talk about Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And so she's a prophet, but she's not actually married to the king. And then there's like this evil baron that's like really large, and he sits in a pool of mud.
Wait, is he tall? Is he tall, or is he
I don't remember. He sits in a pool of mud.
And why?
There's like this mud pool. It's a whole thing.
Mud. Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So then this guy Paul, his mom is the prophet.
Okay.
The girl from Mission Impossible.
Okay.
And he's having all these visions, and he's like the chosen one.
No, it's
a lot more intense than Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
But like
there was a mass genocide in Star Wars.
No, it's different. There's not Jedis.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very similar, but Dune was a book first. I think Star Wars is more copying Dune than Dune is copying Star Wars. Okay?
But I like Star Wars more, so Dune is copying Star Wars.
Dune was really good. Plot-wise, it's very complex. It's like if Star Wars was for adults.
Okay.
Anyway, back to Dune.
Okay.
So he's having all these like super painful visions, and like then his mom takes him to this like high priestess to get tested, and he's like it's this super special kid. He can see all these things. He's gonna save the people, but their planet's failing, so they need to go to a different planet to kind of like create a life there. And his dad is like this war hero. So they go to this planet, but it turns out, and they start a life there, it's the sand planet.
Okay, so
they have to mine the substance from the sand dunes.
Okay.
Yeah, but obviously it's a little dangerous because of those worms.
Giant worms.
Massive. They're huge. Okay? And so they made this whole country, like, giant city inhabiting the sand planet.
Okay.
Where it used to be the only things that were there were the sandworms and the sand people, which we'll get into. That's who Zendaya is.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But it turns out it was all this massive trap
Okay.
And that some of the other, like in The Godfather, then there's like they call it Meeting of the Five Families.
I don't know what The Godfather is. Well, I know what it is. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it.
They, like, call
I do
me-
know what The Godfather is. I haven't watched
It's like that. So like there's the five families, and there's like the different powerful people in all of them.
it. Okay.
And so all the other ones conspired against Timothy Chalamet's dad to kind of get him to this planet, and they're going to kill the family.
Why?
I forget why exactly.
That's a pretty.
There's a lot of like political stuff in that movie that I didn't understand because all the names are weird.
Oh,
The
okay.
only names I remember are House of Atreides and Paul, if that's the guy's name.
Okay.
Don't remember for sure if that's his name.
Okay.
Okay? There's a lot of politics. I don't really understand all of it. But then in the second one, the guy that played Elvis, Austin Butler, he comes into it too. He's so behind on pop culture. We gotta catch him up.
And I'm 16. Like I should
You're a
know.
little
I should know.
behind. Austin Butler is like sweeping the nation.
I watch old movies. My favorite movie is like Ocean's 11. Great movie. 10 out of 10 movie.
You don't have to watch them. You just have to know what's going on.
Why would I know what's going on?
So you can carry on conversations about current events. It's like
I read
even
the
though
news.
I never read
I read the
Harry
news.
Potter, I knew about it and I could keep up with things as being current and relevant.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. Anyways, they want to kill all of them. And
Okay.
then Paul escapes with his mom. And
Okay.
oh, by the way, and if you like spit at someone, it's a sign of respect because water is super valuable. So if you want to show someone you trust them, you spit at them.
So there's just like
No, but there's like this one really aggressive scene where they're like, it's weird.
where they're having a spitting contest to see
Kinda.
who can give the most respect.
A little bit.
We should implement this in our culture.
No,
That'd
I'm
be
not
funny.
a fan of it. Anyways, then they escape and they fly this thing. Oh, the sand people are called the Fremen. And if you want
Fremen.
to walk on the sand without attracting the sandworms, you have to do like this dance.
Okay.
So because like they hear what happens, like if you walk, it's like there's like a pattern to it. And so the sandworms pick that up. So if you
Okay.
want to get across a sand without the sandworms here, and you have to do this like shuffle slidey dance, so it's not like a rhythm like that. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And then he has a couple more visions along the way, and then they meet Zendaya, and she's one of the leaders of the Fremen, the Sand People.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
But he was able to. Sandworm was about to eat him and his mom, and he did something with his like magical powers of being the chosen one that like repelled it. Yeah, and then the second movie, somebody gets to ride a sandworm, which I'm so excited for. I watched.
Wait,
Dune.
that's the second one already come out.
Yeah, I watched the first one right before the second one came out because I was like, I'll watch the second one
Okay.
because I just watched the first one and I never watched the second one, so I really need to watch the second one. But that's where, and then so the graphics absolutely amazing. The political stuff don't really understand it.
Okay. But how did they get them? Like, was the High Priestess in on the deal?
About
Like, because they wanted to get them to the Sand Planet.
yeah,
So how did like what happened, like, to get them to that specific planet?
they took a ship.
But like,
Oh,
I-
and she's pregnant. That's another thing.
but like, I understand that they like took a ship, and that the planet was dying. But why'd they pick the Sand Planet?
So they needed to go to the Sand Planet to get to mine. Remember, I told you that
Yeah,
substance
yeah.
that was out there. He was in charge. The Timothy Chalamet's dad was in charge of the army. He was going to go there to oversee the people that were mining the stuff for them. So it's kind of like on Jakku in Star
Okay.
Wars, or like in Jeddah, where they have all those deposits, and then the Empire's there overseeing it, and
Okay.
then once they're done with it, they're just going to blow up the planet. It's kind of like that, but in Star Wars terms.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
It's very. I like the sound of this.
It is very interesting. Although I just summarized, I think that movie's like 2.5 to 3 hours. I did just summarize it in 5 minutes. If that tells you anything about the movie.
Yeah, it may be a little long. I remember watching the pitch meeting of this, and there was like a lot of funny moments that just didn't make sense.
In Dune? There's a pitch meeting of Dune?
Yeah.
You found one?
Or maybe it's Dune 2. Or maybe it's Maze Runner.
Maze Runner? Maze Runner is amazing. We could talk about Maze Runner.
It does sound very interesting.
It is.
I kind of want to know why you're sitting in a pile of mud.
I think it's, well, so like they poisoned the Emperor somehow. And then
no, there's all this extra information. Okay, so basically, I think I'm understanding you gotta watch the movie to really understand it or read the book.
I don't, like, the book is so big, I would not read the book.
Okay.
You gotta watch. Well, I think, so like the mud has something to do with healing because he's in the mud pit for a while. And then the second movie, Austin Butler comes back as like his son or his nephew, and then he fights someone else, and he's bald.
Okay.
He's like the guy without the nose in the Harry Potter book.
Voldemort.
Yeah, Voldemort.
She makes fun of me for not knowing things, but she doesn't even know the most basic fact.
I just get Voldemort and Snape mixed up.
But
Because
Snape's a good guy.
I see the face of Voldemort, and I think
That's actually a
Snape.
good conversation to have. Is you should figure out that whole Snape Voldemort thing, and then we can have a conversation on whether or not Snape is actually a good guy. But anyway, so it does sound very interesting, but it does sound like it's just Star Wars with more politics and like.
Yeah, like
based
I
on
said,
daily
Star
life.
Wars for adults. Like, it definitely makes you think more. You know what reminds me of? You know the card game Coup?
Yeah.
That's what reminds me.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really know what to say on that.
That's unfortunate.
What a waste of an episode.
It's not a waste of an episode.
Well, that's Dune. I seem like
You could try to do the Sandwalker dance for us. That would be very interesting.
I don't even know what it is.
You do like step, shuffle, slide, slide, step, shuffle.
So like step, shuffle, shuffle, slide.
Why don't you just do the Sid shuffle?
I don't know. Wait, what's
Oh wait, well,
I forgot the Sid shuffle too.
on a side point, do you think like a couple of movies like that I've seen recently? I saw Avatar 2 in theaters, and then
Okay.
I watched Dune, and now like the Wicked movie came out, which
Okay.
I'm not gonna see. But like they're all, I think people are making movies longer. And is it because we of a generation have become lazier, so we just want to sit around and watch the long movies? I know this is very deep for what we normally talk about, but it is something to think about.
I don't think so.
Avatar is 2.5 hours, Dune is 2.5 hours, Wicked is 2.5. Like, that's crazy. Typically, like, there's a period of time where all the movies were like an hour and 40 minutes.
Wicked's also a musical.
They don't, it's not like a musical. The movie is not like a musical.
I know, but I feel like they've stretched. I feel like, first of all, they're stretching a lot of things out.
Yeah, because if it's long, I don't think you can get more money for it. You actually have to end up paying the actors more.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just they're stretching out and trying to put in a bunch of filler content.
I don't know.
I don't
They're
think it's
all
that deep.
all these longer ones are very cinematically appealing. Like the graphics and like the background, like all the visual effects.
It can also
stuff
be
are
that those
really
movies
good.
just got like a huge budget, so like, oh, we're gonna make this 2.5 hours.
Well, James Cameron always has a huge budget.
So, because I mean, like, Mission Impossible is not that long,
No.
and it's a great movie, good stunts,
Yeah.
and everybody loves it.
It is an action.
Star Wars isn't that long.
Star Wars is old. Like the new ones that came out were all longer.
And they all sucked.
The
That's a
Return.
conversation for another day.
What was the last one where Kylo Ren dies? What's that one called?
Rise of the Skywalker?
Yeah. Rise of the Skywalker. That one was.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
movies
it
were
is
so
Rise of the
bad that you
Skywalker.
cannot even remember the last one's name.
Well, I was
These
gonna
were
call it The
garbage.
Last Jedi, but that's not the last
That's
one.
number
The Last
8.
Jedi is number 8.
Unpopular opinion, The Last Jedi was the best of all three of them.
He likes Rian Johnson. I do not like Rian Johnson.
I don't like Rian Johnson.
He did The Last Jedi.
I know. But
No.
that was like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
Who directed Dune?
Who did direct Dune?
I don't know.
Who directed Dune?
Here, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Who directed Dune, the movie? Oh wait, David Lynch. I was really worried it was like Ryan Johnson. So like, no, it was David Lynch.
No,
idea.
Ryan Johnson did Knives Out.
Knives Out,
and
which
Glass
was
Onion.
great.
Knives Out and Glass Onion are really fun movies.
They are really. Did you know there's a third one coming out soon?
Yeah. Trilogy. Good three.
Daniel Craig is still acting. Like, can we just talk about that? He has
How old
done
is he?
so much, and he is very. And his like range is incredible. He was Bond.
Yes.
He's now in this one. He's in a new. He's in a new movie with Drew Starkey from Outer Banks. He has a very.
You see, here's the thing: is he's just you can put him into so many positions and he'll do really well. Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson can only really play Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and like
The Rock.
yeah.
I mean, there are actors that always play the same character in every single movie.
That's because a lot of times that's all they can play. Like you can't manipulate The Rock into many roles, but like you can put Daniel Craig in a lot of different roles.
But I feel like you have to respect him for it because he's still making bank on it. Do you know how much money he made off the new Moana movie?
Probably a lot.
It was like 500 million.
He gets paid to work out. Okay, end of our time.
Yeah, we got you.
Sorry that there wasn't like something funny coming out of the Dune. It seems too complicated. But
Very complicated.
I don't know what we'd talk about next. I kind of want to rant about the last 3 Star Wars movies.
He'll go on a tangent.
I would be awesome.
It might be interesting, it might not. We could see.
I think that's maybe what we do next.
But tell him, I keep on telling him we need to do a reaction video, so that's hopefully the next thing we do.
Maybe. Alright, thank you for watching.
Bye.
Please subscribe.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe.
Like and
All the
subscribe. Or
normals.
dislike if you can't comment.
Like people dislike.
So thank you for watching.